Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Star Wars Wednesday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with Star Wars The Black Series from the 2D Gwendy Tartakovsky, and I'm sure I butchered that name, Clone Wars Micro Series based Mace Windu. Let's get into it. Let's start things off with a look at the packaging. And first of all, I want to say, it's a blister card. But for those of you who remember when in, not that one, was it 2002? I want to say it was 2002. When the Genndy Tartakovsky, and again, I'm sure I slaughtered his name there, the micro series came out. This was the design of the packaging that the figures were in. You may or may not remember that, and they were 3 3/4, maybe 4-inch figures, but they were close to 3 3/4, and they were done completely up in the style of the animation, unlike this figure. I mean, if they, he doesn't look like this. He looks like a more realistic take of this. But anyway, for those of you who remember, this is a real throwback to that original packaging. Lucasfilm 50. 4 and up, assortment number, Star Wars. Clone Wars, and look, it's the Tartakovsky titles, not from the CGI series, but from the 2D animated series. And then here we have a nice big blister showcasing the figure and his one accessory, which is his lightsaber. Mace Windu. Warning, don't stick things in your pie hole that don't belong there. On the bottom here, small, fine, legalese print, made in China print, symbols I'm not going to learn, and a barcode. And of course, it's it's blistered all the way around. But it does have this nice insert, again, with a picture of the animation in which this figure is based. Hasbro print. On the back, let's see what it says. The Clone Wars are brought to life in a unique animation style that captures the drama of this epic period. Jedi warriors lead clone troopers into battle against the evil separatist forces. Were they really evil? Some of them were. Star Wars, Clone Wars, Mace Windu, and then again, a nice pic of the animated version that this figure is based on, Lucasfilm 50th. There's the timeline. I'm not really going to go over all that. And I'll stop here for just a minute if you want to read all that. Or you can pause it. Attention! Don't stick things in your French pie hole. Warning! Attention! Achtung! Don't stick things in any language pie hole that don't belong there. And don't give it to the babies. More small, fine, legalese, made in China print, Hasbro print, Disney print. And that, my friends, is a look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. And let's start off with the accessories. And here we have handy dandy tweezers. And here is his lightsaber hilt. It's a port right there in the end to port the lightsaber blade into. And then there's a peg right here that ports into his belt. Here's his nice purple lightsaber blade. As you can see, he has the little peg at the end with the ring around it to help it stay into place. Nice looking. And let's take a look at the figure himself. I won't say it's a great likeness of Samuel L. Jackson, but it's a close approximation. It's Samuel L. Jackson enough to know that this party's over. And then here we have his armor piece, and these flaps are attached to it by little plastic tabs, and then they're glued onto those tabs, and that's the same on both sides. I'm pretty sure this is a reuse body for the most part. The belt, of course, is different. The forearms are different. And for some reason, Mace has 2 trigger fingers. 2 trigger finger hands. That is. And, you know, nice Jedi robes. Nice sculpted detail in them. There's not a whole lot of paint going on here. There's a little here. Face printing. A little bit of paint here. And the boots might be... there might be some paint right here. But it pretty much seems that everything is molded in color. So, but nice details throughout. Now, as far as his articulation goes, let's take a look. He doesn't really look up. The neck is a separate piece, it seems, but it doesn't move up, and the head will not tilt up any. Now, the head will tilt forward some, so he can look down that far, and that's with the neck involved. Can he chicken neck? Just a little bit. He's got some waggle. Oh no. Can't do the full exorcist. Oh, forgot to talk about the cloth goods robe. It's like glued under the armor shoulder piece. I really wish you could take that off, but without damaging anything. But you know, it is what it is. At the shoulder, can come out to approximately 90 degrees. There is a butterfly joint in there. Kind of see it in there. It's a pretty good one too. So the butterfly allows the arm to go backwards that far and forward just slightly. There is there a cut at the... no cut at the bicep. Now, at the shoulder, he will do a full 360 degree rotation. However, the soft goods cloak starts getting tangled up. He's got the hinge and swivel at the elbow, and it'll give you not even close to 90 degrees of bend, but it will swivel a full 360 degrees. Another 360 degree rotation at the wrist, and it is on an in and out hinge. The other one also on an in and out hinge. An up and down hinge would have been nice, especially seeing how these are trigger finger hands. Maybe they're force hands. At the waist, looks like there's probably a dumbbell in there. So he's got plenty of hula going on. He can do a full 360 degrees at the waist, which is a rare thing on Black Series these days. There's a split in the side of the robe so that you can get the splits out of him, and you can get that much of the splits. Can he kick forward? Yes, but the rope does get in the way, about that far forward. And not even a step back, really. Nothing at the upper thigh, I don't think. Nope, I take it back. There is a cut at the upper thigh, and it does give another 360 degree rotation, and that's because this is an old Black Series leg. You can tell because of the peg instead of the hinge and swivel. And at that double hinged pinned knee, it will give you that much bend. Nothing at the top of the boot. At the ankle. Tilts down that far. Tilts up, not really. And forward-facing pin for rocker. One thing I'm sort of mentioned before, there's a port right there on his belt. And that is where the lightsaber pegs into place. And there we go, Mace Windu all ready to stop parties. And then, of course, the port in the end of the hilt and the blade. Be careful, because that's a very small peg, but it does go in there fairly easily. And there we go, my friends. That's a look at the figure and his accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have Clone Wars Mace Windu along with Clone Wars Anakin Skywalker and Clone Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi. Here we have Clone Wars Mace Windu next to regular Mace Windu, Episode 2 Mace Windu. And then from Clone Wars also, Clone Pilot Hawk. Here's Clone Wars Mace Windu with the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper, and to see how he starts stacking up against other lines. From the Marvel Legends series, we have making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee. Here's Clone Wars Master Windu with, from the G.I. Joe Classified series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander. And from McFarlane Toys, for a 7-inch comparison, we have the DC Multiverse 3 Jokers, the Joker, the Clown. For final thoughts on the Walmart exclusive Star Wars The Black Series Clone Wars retro carded Mace Windu, I have to say I like this figure. The armor across the chest and shoulders, it does make the figure look a little more bulky than you know, regular, but I guess he's wearing armor, so I guess he's supposed to kind of look bulky. And you know, it's a nice look for him. And if you like the Clone Wars, you know, you'll probably like this figure. Even though I know this one is more micro series than it is the standard Clone Wars series. But, you know, the looks were similar. Especially when you're looking at, like, the first couple of seasons of Clone Wars. Of the regular series. You know, most of this guy is reused from the mainline release of Mace Windu, and that's fine, it works. You know, they just added the armor piece, the new forearms, and a different cloak. And, you know, and a little bit of, you know, different paint. But, you know, that's the name of the game sometimes. But regardless, it looks good. That does it for the review. I hope that you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each of you does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you'd like to see more reviews, or just help the channel out further, or both, that's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.